live.
What's up, guys? Paul from Extreme Athletics, my business partner John from Extreme Athletics. Today's workout, we're going to take you through a core/stability workout. Training for the core is super important because it's your foundation. Okay, if you don't have a strong core, you're going to be weak in all other areas in the sport that you specifically play. So today, I'm going to take you through, or take John through a bunch of exercises, about 9 exercises actually. 2 rounds of each and 3 circuits. If you guys have any questions, feel free to write in, and it should be fun. So you're probably gonna have a lot of questions, so like I said, feel free to write in. Anything you want to add?
I think we're good to go.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna get John warmed up, and then we're gonna start this circuit. All right. Let's start with 25 jumping jacks, John. So anytime that we work out, we always want to start with a dynamic flexibility warm-up, get the heart rate up, get the blood pumping through all the muscles. Same thing that we always go over in our workouts. We want to make the muscles as flexible as possible, get everything warmed up before we get started. All right, next let's go lunge with a big twist over that front leg. We need 5 on each side. So we're warming up the lower body, and John's throwing a little twist in there. That's going to get the core warmed up, and we're working on our core today, so it's a perfect exercise to start off with. Solid. All right, so we are doing stability today as well. So I'm going to have John go right into a single leg squat where his foot's going to stay flat on the ground. He's going to keep his chest up, and he's just going to bend that knee and hips, come down and touch both hands to the ground, and fire off the ground. He's going to do 10 reps on each leg. Perfect. One thing we don't want to see here is that heel coming off the ground. That would mean all the weight's transferring up onto, see how he's all the weight's up on the toes. So he wants to keep everything on the heel. That way his glutes are going to fire and his hamstring's going to be more active. And essentially that's what we want with a single leg squat. This is getting all the proprioceptors firing as well, which are all your balance receptors. So we want to warm those up as much as possible for this workout. Perfect. Let's go 25 more jumping jacks. I like to throw in some jumping jacks to stay loose at the end of each stretch, keep the blood flowing. Not as hot as it's been lately, so it's actually not too bad today.
That always helps.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to do some hand taps. This is one of John's favorite exercises. So he's going to get in a plank position. If you can do this with your feet together and your glutes tight, more power to you. But if you're pretty new at this exercise, you're going to want to spread your feet out. Body's going to be in a straight line. And all you're going to do is just tap hand to hand, keeping the trunk nice and solid. So give me 20 taps, John. Perfect. So that's getting the core warmed up.
I think it's more.
Good. All right, now it's going to take a wide stance. We're just going to do a lateral squat. He's going to take that outside hand and place it next to his inside foot and just rotate up. And then just alternating sides. Just do 5 each way, John. This is a good exercise to stretch out the thoracic spine. Perfect. Form's good. He's not rushing through it. Focusing on technique over everything. Perfect. 25 more jumping jacks. You live over there, Katie? Good.
It's a lot of jumping jacks so far.
Okay, so now we're going to do a single leg RDL. Okay, so he's going to keep his body straight. He's going to reach down for his toes. He's going to back leg up as high as possible. He's going to get a big stretch to the hamstring. See my back foot? You want to keep that toe facing down. Most people will rotate out, but you actually want that toe pointing straight down to the ground. It's going to come up and just go right into the next one. 5 of those on each leg. Perfect. So that's firing the posterior chain. We're getting the glutes firing, the hamstrings, and we're working on some ankle stability there as well and some balance. So this is a great exercise for a core/stability warm-up. Perfect. All right, last one. Cross-body mountain climbers. So John's going to bring his knee all the way up to his elbow and back, knee to elbow, and then he's just going to pick up the speed. He's going to do 10 on each side, focusing on trying to touch his knees to his elbows. Perfect. He's got the form down. That's going to engage all of his core. And then he's going to speed it up a little bit. See his body's in perfect position. He's not letting his hips get too high. All right, 25 more jumping jacks, and then we are done with the warm-up. Good?
Ready.
Need water?
Sure.
Cool. All right, so John's gonna grab water. First circuit that we're gonna go through, I'm gonna show you a single leg kettlebell RDL. I'm gonna have John do it on the Bosu because I know that on the ground would probably be a little too easy for him. Then we're gonna do some ground and pounds. That's a fun exercise. And then we're gonna do some windshield wipers to get the hips loosened up. It's 3 exercises. We're gonna go through 2 circuits of it. I typically recommend 3 circuits, but if you up the volume, you go higher reps, then you can get away with doing two rounds of this, all right? So let's go through the first one. You can do this with a dumbbell or a kettlebell, really doesn't matter. You're gonna find your balance on the Bosu, okay? It's imperative that your foot's centered, because if you step up there and the Bosu's leaning hard to one way, you know you need to adjust it. So that's half the battle, is just finding your balance on the Bosu. So I'm balancing on my left leg. I'm going to put the kettlebell in my right hand, okay? So what's going to happen is John's just going to relax his right arm. He's going to get his back leg up high. He's going to touch that kettlebell to the Bosu, flip it to the outside, and he's going to drive it straight up. When he brings his knee up here, he's going to engage his core. Okay, so we're actually going core/stability again. Keeping the body. Good, his form looks good. See how his foot's rotating out a little bit like that? We talked about that in the warm-up. So if John can point his foot down at the ground, perfect. Great correction. Good, his form's perfect. So when he goes down, his body looks like the letter T. His back is straight, it's in line with his back leg. And his arm is just nice and relaxed. Perfect. Looks solid. Great job. Easy. Boom, he knocked it out. All right, next we're going to go into a ground and pound. Okay? If you don't have a TRX, you can just do this on the ground, or if you don't have a Bosu, you don't have to use the Bosu either. We're just going to modify it and show you how we do it here, just to make it harder on our athletes. So he's going to put the TRX straps on his feet. They're about a foot off the ground. He's going to make sure his feet are even. He's going to start here, okay, in a plank position. He's going to come down to his elbows and right back up to his hands. What you don't want to see is the feet swinging all over the place. So John's going to have to keep his core nice and tight and his hips in line with his body. It's called the ground and pound, okay? He's going to do 10 on each arm, so we're going to go 20 reps total. Perfect, so his form looks good. We've got a little bit of hip swivel, but that's all right, as long as he's keeping his core tight. Good. This exercise can get exhausting. Really great exercise for the core.
sir.
All right. Next one, we're going to windshield wipers. This is a great hip mobility one, and also one to strengthen the pelvic floor. So, John's going to grab the outside of the stability ball, and you can do this without a ball. We just have our athletes do it with the ball to make it harder. He's just going to relax his neck, arms out to the side. He's going to bring that ball all the way over, lightly touching his foot to the ground. He's going to pull his belly button into his spine, go right back up, touch, up. So I'm bringing up my head a little bit. That's have a tendency that most athletes do. You always want to just make sure that their neck is relaxed on the ground. They never want to bring their neck up in strain. All right? John's just going to do 5 on each side. We're going to keep it easy. I typically recommend 20. But just for the sake of time, we'll show you guys 10 reps. Perfect. So you essentially want to keep the bottom of your feet, the sole of your feet, facing up the entire time when you bring it back up to 12 o'clock. A lot of people are going to struggle with that exercise. It's a great exercise to build up your core and, like I said, your pelvic floor. All right, JB, one more round. Going back to the single leg RDL. Good, form looks good. There's nothing really to preach on. Your core consists, you can really strengthen your core just by doing crunches and back extensions. You don't really want to use your core as a prime mover. The core is more of a dynamic stabilizer as well as like a force production, okay? Going back to ground and pound, John. So like an overhead squat or a deadlift are a great core exercise. Don't get stuck on doing crunches all the time. Everybody always wants a six-pack. But I guarantee if you do a lot of overhead squats and some deadlifts and some dynamic stabilizing muscles, you'll get that six-pack eventually, and you'll do it the healthy way. There he goes, getting after it. Good. It's almost impossible to not have the hips kind of swiveling when you're doing the TRX. All right, JB, windshield wipers. Back. Good, feet are facing up. He's doing a great job just squeezing the ball with your ankles. If you've never done this exercise before, you can do it, again, like I said, without the ball, or if you can't even manage that, you can always go feet together and bend your knees and just go side to side. Cool. All right, we're going to give JB a quick little break, and then we're going to move on to the second circuit where we're going to do a knees to elbow. I'm going to show you a toes to bar, knees to elbow. We're going to do a seated medicine ball toss against the wall. And we're also going to do the rip trainer, one of my favorite exercises, because it's dynamic. It's a dynamic core and stability exercise. All right, so let's go to the next one. So ready? So the next one is a great exercise to strengthen your entire core. I'm going to show you the modification. The first one is just going to be I call it a knees to elbow, where you just go here and you bring your knees up. Essentially, you're supposed to bring your knees all the way up to your elbows, hence the name. And the third modification is just doing a toes to bar, where you come all the way up, bring your toes all the way up to the bar. One thing you don't want to do here is swing a lot. Okay, you don't want to kip. You want to do the exercise nice and slow so that you're using all the core muscles, you're not using your body. Anytime that you're going to kip, you're taking away from the muscles that are actually supposed to be helping you stabilize the exercise. So JB, when you're ready, we're going to go 5 to 8 reps. Perfect. So you just got a tiny pause down at the bottom, keeping everything nice and engaged. Not swinging, everything looks solid. He's bringing his knees all the way up. Toes are getting way above the bar. Good. As you get better at that exercise, you can just build up the reps. I typically recommend about 3 sets of 8 to 10. If You can build up to 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 15. You'll develop a stronger core there. All right, seated med ball throw. Here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to have John sit on top of the BOSU. Feet are going to be together. You can do this on the ground if you don't have a BOSU. He's going to keep his chest up. He's going to take the ball here, throw against the wall, catch, small little rotation with a pause, throw, catch. All the while keeping the core tight the entire time. So I'm going to have John do 10 of those on each side. Perfect. Good, he's keeping his chest up, everything's nice and solid. Clearly easy exercise for him. So to make this harder, we could give him a slam ball if we wanted to. We could get that heavier ball. There's always modifications that you can make. Good. I like this exercise because it's covering the rotational plane of the core. All right, next one. We are going to do the rip trainer on the. All right. So if you guys are lucky enough to have a rib trainer, TRX, who's one of our sponsors, hooks us up with a lot of gear. So we love using the rib trainer for this exercise. So here's what I'm going to have John do. I'm going to have him start on the BOSU. Again, if you don't have a BOSU, I would just recommend doing this exercise on the ground. He's going to square up laterally to the wall. He's going to get his athletic stance so his feet are wide. He's keeping his knees bent, chest are up. He's going to spread his hands all the way out and keep his arms locked out. He's going to rotate away from the wall, following his hands with his eyes, pausing here, and rotating over, keeping his core tight the whole time, and trying to keep that BOSU balanced. All right, he's going to do 10 reps on each side. Perfect, form's great. One issue I see here sometimes that athletes will just rotate the hands and never follow the hands with their eyes. The body will follow whatever the eyes are looking at, so you want to essentially follow that rib trainer as you're moving. Same thing if you're throwing a ball against the wall. The body's going to rotate a lot more if you want it to, if you're looking in that direction. Good. He's doing great. Everything looks solid. It looks like his core is solid all the way through. The BOSU's staying level. Chest is up. Good. First round done. All right, we're going back to toes to bars. Last round. Solid. All right, going back over to your rotational med ball throws. 10 reps on each side. Perfect. Feet are together, flat on the ground, chest is up. He's keeping everything stable the entire time. Easy. Last one, rib trainer, JB. 10 on each side. Perfect. Chest is up, knees are bent. He's keeping that BOSU nice and stable. See how he's following his hands with his eyes? So his body's rotating a little bit more. He's engaging more muscles. JB's gonna take a little break, and we're gonna do our last circuit. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to write in. We're covering all 3 planes of motion today, showing you guys multiple core exercises that you can do. Again, get away from the crunches and the back extensions. Do more stabilizer stuff. It's better for you, you'll be a better athlete, and you'll move a lot more efficiently. You won't throw your back out when you're carrying all those groceries up to your house. I'm a 1-trip type of guy, you know. No one does 2 trips. I train my core so I can do 1 trip. All right, last circuit, reaching opposites. All right, so last one. Some of you guys have maybe seen this exercise on the functional movement screen. It's called the FMS test. It's this exercise here where you go reaching opposite. So it's left arm, right leg, you come down, body's kind of nice and stable. Everything goes out, everything's in a straight line. It's easy. So we train all of our athletes on that. So today I'm going to have JB actually do it on the stability ball. It's one of our core foundation exercises. We love this exercise. We build all of our athletes up to it. Let me show you a quick modification real quick. You can do it, if you can't do it on if you don't feel comfortable on a stability ball, you can do it on a BOSU. Here works the same, okay? If you cannot stabilize there, don't worry about taking your hand off. Just work on taking your leg off one at a time. Once that's easy, then you can work on taking your hands off, all right? So I'm gonna have JB do it on the stability ball. Perfect. So I always tell the athletes, you have to pause for at least 2 or 3 seconds. A lot of them will just throw their arm and hand out there real quick and try to count that as a rep. That's not gonna make you a better athlete. That leg has to be straight. You have to fire the glute on that side. And again, you don't want your foot to rotate out. You want that toe pointed down at the ground. Everything in a straight line. Perfect. Stay there, JB. Next exercise. We're going to do a kneeling stability ball throw. I like this exercise. It's fun, especially if you're working with kids. What I tell them is you want to get tall on the stability ball and keep the core engaged. If you're here, you don't want to just plop down and rest on your feet because the core disengages. You want to be up the entire time, keeping everything nice and tight and pulling your belly button into your spine. So we're going to do 10 throws, alternating between hands. Now he's having to keep his core tight to stabilize on the ball. So we just put a lot of emphasis on keeping it tight the entire time. Throw him a couple balls. See if we can get him a little squirrely. But everything stems from the core. So don't just think that he's magically just bouncing up there. He's got a strong core, and that's what's keeping him stable up there. And done. Perfect. Last one, BOSU hops. All right. I love this exercise because it helps with injuries, in my opinion. So what I'm going to have JB do is just going to hop onto the BOSU and right back off, okay? If you don't feel comfortable with this exercise, don't try it, okay? What it does is going to strengthen the ligaments and the tendons and the knees and ankles. Important for athletes, especially the surfers that we work with. So he's going to balance on one foot, and when he hops on the BOSU, he's just going to let it push him right back off. And then he's going to try to land on that one leg without putting his other foot down. So just hop on, let it push him right back off, and stabilize. On, off, stabilize. Keeping the core tight the entire time. Let's just do 5 on each side, JB. Perfect. So he's got great balance and his core strong, and that's what's helping him stabilize. I typically recommend 5 to each leg for about 3 rounds. Too much time on that BOSU. Boom. Perfect. All right, one more round. We're almost done. Reaching opposites again. Perfect. Stabilizing everything's in a straight line. That arm's coming directly out in front. It's not flailing out to the side. He's essentially got a straight line from his wrist all the way down to his ankle. Perfect. All right, let's get some more throws in. This time, so that was easy, right? This time I'm going to have JB close one of his eyes. We're going to make it a little bit harder. Good. Perfect. This is a great exercise if you have athletes that are pretty advanced. Have them close an eye and then throw with their non-dominant hand. Last one. Perfect. Boom. Done. Single leg hops to strengthen the ligaments and tendons in the ankle and knee, and then we are done. Perfect. Good. He's stabilizing. He's letting that bow suit push him right back off. He's stabilizing when it hits the ground. Done. Nice. That was it. Simple. Yeah. So there's some of the exercises that we do here at Extreme Athletics. We work with surfers, but we work with athletes of all kinds. But those are a lot of the exercises that we do. Again, we don't have our athletes do crunches and back extensions and all that stuff. We work for more stabilizing the core. Okay. And research shows that athletes that have a more higher stable core are less likely to get injured. There we go. Cool. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email us, info@extremeathletics.org. Our website's www.extremeathletics.oc.com. And if you don't live in the area and you want to train like our athletes, we do a travel program that is very affordable. You hit us up and we'll put together a program. It's a PDF with pictures and exercises and everything. We'll kind of walk you through it too. So if you want to train like our pros do, hit us up and we will design a custom built program for you. Next week we're going to do endurance workout. Should be fun. And that was it. JB, do you have anything to add?
I think that was it. That was a fun workout.
Cool.
We liked it.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
See you guys next week.